Now let's see this question. Study the following stacked bar graph. So stacked bar graph means it is a bar graph, but then it is stacked one above the other. Right? If you look at this, this is one part, this is other part, this is other part, like that. So this is called as stacked bar graph. Now, and answer the questions below. Deaths from malaria in different cities over a period 2001 to 2 to 2005 to 6 is given here. Now we are supposed to answer the questions. Now if you observe it, here the bars are given in a different color. I mean, the shading is different here. Now each shading will represent a different city. For example, this the shadings are given here. City A is represented by this shade and B is represented by this shade, C, D, E. And now if you see this, the data over the period 2001 to 2 is present in this entire bar. Right? Now if you want to see how many deaths have occurred because of malaria during this period from, let's say, city A, right? So city A is given here. Now if you see this from 0 to 200, therefore 200 deaths have occurred in the period 2001 to 2 in city A because of malaria. And now if you want to see about city B is given by this shade, right? Now if you observe it, the city B upper limit here is given by 500. Between 400 and 600 it is 500. Assume that it is 500. Now it is 500, but from here if you take it is 500, but then it is starting from here, right? Therefore for city B it is 500 minus 200, which means 300 is the number of deaths because of malaria during this period 2001 to 2002, right? So likewise the cities are given here and the bars are given here, and now we are supposed to answer the question. Now by what percent is the average number of deaths from malaria in city C over the period of 2001 to 6 is more than the number of deaths in city A over the period of 2002 to 3. Now what is the data we need from this graph is, what is the percent is the average number. Therefore we need this average number of deaths from malaria in city C over the period 2001 to 6. This is one data we need. Now this has to be compared with, this data has to be compared with the number of deaths in city A over the period of 2002 to 3, right? So we have to compare these two, right? So city C average with city A in this period. So now let's see where city C is. So city C is represented by this horizontal lines, okay, vertical lines. So if you see this over all the periods and take the average, what we get here is, see this, here we are going to get for 2001 to 2, the value here is 700 minus 500, which means 200, right? And similarly here it is 100, and here it is 200, here it is 200, here it is 200. Now we have to find all these numbers and find the average. So it is going to be 200 plus 100 plus 200 plus 200 plus 200 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the average. Now if you find out the average, you will get 180. So that is what we got here. Now by what percent is this average more than? So we are comparing this value with some other value. So what is that other value is? City A over the period 2002 to 3. So 2002 to 3 is here, and city A is represented by this shade. Therefore this is the part which we are interested in. So it is 100. Alright. Therefore we are comparing this 180 with 100. So in percentages, therefore it is 180 minus 100 divided by 100 into 100. So it is going to be 80%. Got it? Okay. Now let's see this question. What is the total number of deaths in city D as a percentage of total number of deaths over the period 2001 to 2006? So now what we are supposed to find out is, find out what is the total number of deaths in city D over all the periods, and find out what is the total number of deaths in all the cities put together. And now we have to find out the percentage the D is contributing to it. Okay. So now let's see where city D is. Now if you see city D is given by this, right? So this is the shading that we are using for city D. Therefore all the parts, this one, this one and this one. They are all representing the deaths in city D. Now find out what is the total number of deaths in city D. So the total number of deaths in city D is equal to, there you have 200, here this part is 200 and this part is 300 and this part is 200 and this part is 200 and this part is 100, right? So if you add all this, it is going to be 1000. Therefore 1000 is the total number of deaths from city D. Now we have to find out the total number of deaths overall. The total number of deaths means, see here, if you take from here to here, this is the total number of deaths in this period 2001 to 2. Now we have to find out all the total number of deaths over all the periods, right? Now the total number of deaths, the total is equal to 1000 plus, see here it is 1000, here it is 800, 1000 plus 800 plus 1400 plus 1100 plus 900. Now this is going to be 5200, right? Now they are asking what percentage is this of this, right? So it is 1000 by 5200 into 100. It is going to be 19.23%. Therefore the total, out of the total deaths, city D has contributed 90% of it, which means, if you assume that 100 is the total number of deaths, then 19.23 deaths are from city D. That is the meaning of it. Okay, fine. Now let's see this. In which period the deaths caused in city B has highest percentage of the total number of deaths in that period? So which means you have to take each period individually. For example, you are going to take 2001 to 2. Now in this period we are going to take the total deaths, and to this total deaths we are going to see how much percentage is contributed by city B. Now we shall take for each period the percentage contributed by city B, right? And we are supposed to say in which period it is highest. Okay, so now city B is represented by dots, right? So city B is represented by dots here. Therefore city B is this one. Now if we are considering this period 2001 to 2, right? Now let's say 2001 to 2. Now in this period, what is the number of deaths which are contributed by city B? It is 300, right? Now out of how many deaths? The total number of deaths in this period is 1000. So it is going to be 1000 into 100. Therefore you will get that it is 30%, right? And similarly you have to do the same thing for all the periods. So now for 2002 to 3, what is it? So for 2002 to 3, the total number of deaths is 800, and here it is 200. City B is 200. Therefore 200 is contributed by city B out of 800. So the percentage contribution here is going to be 25%, right? And the next one is here 2003 to 4. So in 2003 to 4, the total number of deaths is 1400, and city B has contributed 400 into 100, right? So it is going to be 28.57%. Okay, and now for 2004 to 5, is it visible? 2004 to 5. Now the total number of deaths is 1100, and out of this 1100, city B has contributed 300. So this one is going to be 27.27%. And now for 2005 to 6, the total number of deaths is 900, and out of this 900, city B has contributed 200 to this, right? So you are going to get 22.22%. Now if you see all the percentage contributions, the highest has been contributed in the period 2001 to 2. Therefore the answer is 2001 to 2. Okay. Now let's see this. Which of the given cities experienced the highest percentage growth in the deaths in any period over the previous period from the period 2002 to 3 to 2005 to 6? So what they are trying to ask is, you take every city, like let's say city A, and now see what is the percentage increase in its deaths compared to the previous period, right? And for every period you are supposed to check for city A, and again for city B you are supposed to check it, again for city C and D. So all the cities we are supposed to check this number, and we have to give the highest number, okay, or whichever has got the highest, that is the answer, right? So now let's see this. Now if you see for city A, initially the deaths in this period is 200. Now from 200 it has decreased to 100, therefore it is decreased, so you need not consider it. Now they are asking about growth, highest growth, therefore it is a decrease, so don't worry about it. Now from 100 it has increased to 400, therefore if you see the percentage, 400 minus 100 by 100, which means 300, isn't it? So from here to here you can clearly see that there is 300% growth, right? And again from here to here there is decrease, so don't worry about it. Again from here to here there is decrease, right? Therefore coming to city A, there is only growth one time, and it is by 300%. Similarly you have to do for all the cities. Now if you see for city B, now city B has been here 300 and here it is 200, therefore from here to here there is a decrease, so don't worry about it. And now here it is 200 and here it is 400, so from here to here there is 50% increase, isn't it? And now from here to here, if you see this, here it is 400 and here it is 300, right? So here it is 400 and here it is 300, therefore it is decrease, isn't it? So here it is 200 and here it is 400, right? So it is going to be 100%, right? And now from here to here it is decreased, and from here to here it is 300 to 200, which means again it is decreased. So like that, for every city you are supposed to find out whether it is increasing or decreasing. In case if it is increasing, you have to find out that number and see what is the greatest you are going to get. Now if you solve this entire question, you are going to get that only for city A you are going to get the highest, which is 300%. So you do the complete solution, right? But then the answer is 300%, which means city A has got highest growth in deaths compared to the previous period. And even if you want that period, it is in 2002 to 3. Okay, fine. Now let's see this question. If the number of deaths in city A increases from 2000 to 2001, so actually this the period, for this period the bar is not given there, but they have given the question like this. So now they are saying that the number of deaths in city A increases from 2000 to 2001, which means the period before it, okay, to 2001 to 2, which means here by 25%, and increased from 2005 to 6 to 2006 to 7, which means from here to the next period by 40%. Then what is the difference between the deaths in 2000 to 2001 and that in 2006 to 2007 in the city A? Now they are talking about city A, but then they are talking about the time periods which is 1 year ahead of this, 1 year before it, and which is 1 year after it. Without giving the actual number, they are giving us the differences in the percentages, and now they are asking us to find out the values. Okay, now I don't know what is the city A's value here. Okay, I don't know what its value here is for 2000 to 2001. Now let us assume that it is X. I don't know what it is. Now they are, but then in order to find it out, they are saying that the number of deaths increased from here to here, which means from here to here it has increased by 25%, right? So now X has increased by 25% in order to become 200, x has increased by 25% in order to become 200. Therefore, what is the relation between x and 200 is 125% of x must be equal to 200, right? Or we can calculate in any other formula also, but this is one way of doing it. Are you getting this? X has increased by 25% to become 200, then it means that 125% of x is equal to 200. Now using this, if you compute what x is, you are going to get the x is equal to 160. Got it? So 160 is the value of the number of deaths in city A in the period 2000 to 2001. Now similarly, we are supposed to find out what is the number of deaths in city A from 2000 here to here, from 2005 to 6 to 2006 to 7. So from here to here we are supposed to find out. In order to find it out, they are giving that it has increased, see this, and increased from 2005 to 6. From here to here it has increased to 2006 to 7 by 40%, which means here there is an increase in 40%. I don't know what its value is. Let me assume that its value is y. Now they are saying that the value here, which is 200, so 200 has increased by 40% to become this y. Now what would this y be? This y would be 140% of this 200, right? Now if you compute it, it is going to be 280. Now they are asking us not the exact values but the difference between these two numbers, right? That is what they are asking. What is the difference between the deaths in 2000 to 2001 and that in 2006 to 7? So the difference is what they are asking. Now if you compute the difference, it is going to be 120. Alright, that is the answer. Okay.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So, first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and IITs, universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%, but all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177 and IIT Roorkee's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkee, then getting into universities better than IIT Roorkee is easier compared to getting into IIT Roorkee. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply, and statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral, which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities or 50 lakh universities, but whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.